Good morning and welcome to Dreamweaver CS6. Today we're going to discuss how to use Site Manager and create an FTP profile to publish your website materials. Alright, so let's go to Site Manager, New Site, and we can see here that it walks us through a widget style. So let's call this teaching website, because we're just going to set this website up to get as an example. Alright, so now I'm going to go to a file structure to my root directory where I'm going to keep my files, and since I know what it is on my computer, that's set, and we're going to save that. Okay, and it's giving me a flag because I haven't completed it up 100%, but there is down here in the files local, we can see the assets there. Let's go back to Site Manager, Manage Sites, and we know that we call that Teaching Website. Now down here we can see this is to delete a website, edit a website, duplicate a website, and to export it we can save the file in a subdirectory and then later re-import it if we wanted to, just to not have to recreate it, or if we're going to have multiple users collaborating on a project, one person can create the profile for the FTP account and then just send it to the others and everyone's on the same information. This is the server's dialog, or where you're FTPing into. And the exact settings might change from one host to another, but they're pretty close. Now, we can see here that we have no servers in there, and here is the add new server selection, and let's add that, and it pops up. So we're going to call this because that is what we're going to call it. Now we're going to connect, and there's some options. Right now we're going to just use the FTP option for this example, and I know that the URL of where I'm using as a test server is web.webucate.tk, and my password, my username, and then my password. And here down here is the URL, and we can see that if I test it, it was successful. Dreamweaver connected to the web server successfully. And of course we have more options here. Passive. A lot of hosting accounts want you to use passive. It's not always the case, but in this case it is. So we're going to save that. And we're going to save that. So I created the hosting account, and we're done. Alright, so now if I go to my files manager, my site manager, and I can see there's my teaching website, and that's in the files manager. Now here I can see local, remote, server, and repository view. In this case what we are using is the local view. That's what's on my hard drive, and the remote view, and that is what's currently at the website. And we can see that it's going to the website, it's getting the current information, and there is a files directory listing of what's at the website. Now let's go back and review that profile for just a moment. Manage Sites, Teaching, Edit, because there are some other settings that we might want to look at. Let's look at the advanced settings. Local information. Well, we haven't set a default image folder. So let's go ahead and select it. It goes to my website. There's the images. We can open that and then select that. Site media query file, we're not going to get into just now. Cloaking, we're not going to get into that just now, but it talks about not letting viewers see certain files based on that they're just development files. Okay, there's the contribute capability, which we're not going to work, the tables, spries, and there's a spry and web font. All right. So those options, I didn't want to get into detail now. I just wanted you to see that they do exist. The real one that I wanted to set at this point for your information was the web images. Okay? So let's save that. And we're going to save that. And we're done. All right. So right now, if we go to the local file and we open up one of our existing files that is at that website via a double click, and then a write and edit, open with Dreamweaver. Alright, so there we can see it. And we're all set to go on to the next section.